Welcome back to another episode of the Girlfriends Without Benefits podcast. We are on 3 separate screens for the first time in what it feels like forever.
That was
But
a
it
long
feels,
week.
yeah, it feels good to be back though and doing normal things. So, you know,
It does. That was our first conversation today when we all got on the computer. We're like, wow, you're not in person. You're on a little screen and device again.
Yeah.
um,
We thought it would be fun to give you listeners a little inside peek into our week-long retreat turned team meeting turned unexpected events. I don't even know what to
Turned
call it.
hurricane party, turned birthday party, turned podcast production, turned video, I don't know, production,
photo
orchestration.
shoot.
Photo shoot. Oh man. Well, let's back up and at least start with the fact that Cass, before you went to a shaman or a psychic. Tell that part again. And they mentioned like, oh, there's going to be water, but it's not a big deal. It's that whole thing. Say that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So before we went on this trip, hashtag not a vacation, um, I like to sometimes chat with some of my intuitive healer friends and go, what am I not seeing? Like, what should I be aware of? What do you see that may be different from my perspective? And the woman I was working with, she's lovely. She's like, I see a issue with water. And I was like, okay, we're going to Florida. I hate the water in Florida. Like the sulfury smell, like literally kills me. So I was like, okay, water. It's probably like the shower will smell or something like that. No big. And she's like, it's not really a big deal, but like it's something that you should be aware of and like just pay attention to. So I was like, okay, cool. So I ordered extra bottles of water.
Yes.
Like if there's some
Which
sort of
we kept drinking. You kept ordering extra and then
fresh.
we kept, yes.
I think
Yeah.
our total water count was 160 20-ounce bottles and then 10 plus, if not 12 plus gallons. So
We be hydrated.
exactly. We are a hydrated crew when we travel, just so you know. But I was like, okay, if it's that type of water, I'll just make sure like we're protected. So I kind of do my own little like thing of like, go into the fix it doer mode. And the water turned out to be Hurricane Nicole. So I apologize to all the listeners who are named Nicole, but
yeah, we no longer like that name. Sorry, I have a
No.
sister named Nicole. I can't not like that name.
Yeah, it basically threw us through a loop for almost all of the people that were there as like additional
support.
Yeah, and the fact that she said it's not a big deal was the fact that Nicole was not really a very dangerous
No.
fraud.
I think all 15 of us slept through the majority of Nicole.
Correct.
But
easily.
Except for me, but I don't sleep right now. So that's a whole
that doesn't count. No, but I mean, there wasn't a ton of, we never lost power. There was never even a flickering of power. The most drama that happened is the pool got to like an inch above full.
She almost overfilled, but she didn't.
Exactly, but she didn't. So I think
so it wasn't a big deal. However,
except
it just,
canceled flights for people that needed to be there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we kept doing our due diligence, making plans, making spreadsheets, making to-do lists. And every time we would come to start said list, there would be someone missing, or we would have to send someone out to pick someone else up, or we would run out of food again. How can that many people in one house can eat and drink so much? It's like you can turn the entire trip into just making sure everyone is fed.
What is the reality show where they have like 8 or 10 kids or whatever it is?
Yeah.
It's
well, isn't it like 19 kids and counting?
Oh, maybe. Okay, that one counts. We'll use that one as an example. I don't really watch any of them, but I imagine that we got a sneak peek into what their life is like.
Yes.
We're like, holy shit, Costco does not last that long. Like,
yeah.
When you were making 8 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and, salad for 15 and
like we have 4 loaves of bread. How is that not enough? And you guys kept yelling at me because we were at the store and I'd buy like the little I'm like, all we need is a small jar of peanut butter. We're only
Like,
here for
no
a week.
way,
You're
Jose.
like,
We need a
no.
big one.
No, Jade was cute though, and she picked up like this 4-ounce jar of peanut butter. We're like, oh, that's gonna last during one lunch session for the kids.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have too much for the week. It's like, oh no, don't worry, you won't.
don't worry, someone will take a spoon to it and go at it with this, 39 sleeves of Ritz crackers I bought accidentally.
How many sleeves did you have left?
I don't know. Manjal took a bunch home. Kaylin took a bunch
I think
home.
quite a few went home with me too.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone got Ritz crackers as a
crackers for everyone. Well, at least we had enough crackers.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did eat and drink a lot, and that was great.
A lot of alcohol was consumed too.
Lots of coffee.
More coffee.
So much coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And Bailey's.
As I sip my coffee.
And my whole dream of, if you've listened to these podcasts, you know that all I have ever wanted was sister wives. And we got to kind of see how that dream could be a reality. So
we should actually do a more specific podcast on sister wives. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, write it down.
I am. It's
like Kaylin wanted to drive. So were you taking Anthony to the airport? Oh, that was a whole other But anyway,
Nicole.
You wanted to drive.
Nicole's
Nicole. So you wanted to drive and you were just assuming that you would take your 3-week-old baby with you. And all of the women in the house were like, we got you. Like, leave that baby with us.
It's totally fine and fed and slept beautifully.
But we all did take a turn with said baby. So
my sister wived him.
Yeah. Yep. And just, I think that was a really, even with, my son was there, he's 14 and he got, especially, he was really drawn to the men in the house and he got, a lot of fathering sort of advice, especially from Tom. And he loved all the guys there so much. He thinks Kaylin's Anthony is like the coolest dude ever to walk the earth.
So much like we have the episode on TPE and BDE, we have sister wives and then Tom coined bro on the go for the guys too. So we'll have to bring that into the next episode about that so they can understand a little bit more about what that looks like logistically.
Right. So basically we would wake up every day and just be like, well, fuck it. Like that plan isn't going to work. What can we do?
We had a beautiful spreadsheet that we came with, which literally had all the things that we needed to accomplish and estimated times of how long it would take us so that we could schedule it appropriately. And we had the meals planned. I mean, this spreadsheet was so beautiful that Cass put together.
It was.
It basically got torn to shit.
The only thing that happened on that spreadsheet was the food.
Yes.
And even that didn't actually happen the way because one Thursday night got not happening. Wednesday night, your birthday night, no, didn't happen.
It's all good. We made it work. So it's interesting because I look at this trip and I look at that there are a lot of parallels between what we're doing with Aligned.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, cool. We have all these spreadsheets and all these things and all this, the way that it should go and the way that you're schooled to go in a business and entrepreneurship degree and the way that it has worked for quote unquote every other company in the history of companies. And then it's like, nope, pivot. Okay, nope, 3 steps to the left. Okay, pivot again. It's like we are in this crazy freaking line dance of pivoting.
Absolutely, which is why I think that we have spent months pulling cards about dying and burning it down and not having expectations. And we keep pulling the hangman, which is surrender your perspective. Like that we have been.
Didn't you pull the thunder card too right before the trip?
That's right. Yep. To go with our little water, I did pull the thunder card for us. Oh my God.
I feel like thunder's still manifesting over the next, 2 weeks of November though.
Absolutely.
We should have known. Literally, we should have known. Like, goodness.
I know. So I think a fun little story to tell that kind of encapsulates everything would be like our photo shoot. the whole, like the photo shoot plans and the photographer and what actually ended up happening. I think that that's one little tiny thing that happened, but it does give a good broad overview to the rest of the week. So we should tell that. Starting with the photographer, who was supposed to come from what day to what day?
Monday to Friday.
And actually ended up being there what day?
Tuesday to Wednesday morning at 4 a.m.
So we had how many photo shoots planned, how much video to shoot. We had very specific needs for her. We had our outfits planned for all of those things, where we wanted to use them. And it quickly became clear that we were going to get one day with the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it's very different to jump from like lying in a moss puddle.
I was just about to say,
with you guys, to being like, okay, talk about why you decided to create a social media app that's focused on intention and embodiment, and go.
And that is, so to tell that story, Cass is like, where did you have to go? You had to go pick up yet another person from some airport or something. And you were like, see if you can go find us a photo shoot location. So I go walking in the rain around the corner to this construction site and see these really cool, Florida moss covered trees and, like a little bed of moss. And it's really cool. It's just covered,
flowers,
yeah,
hypodermic needles.
Yeah, and covered in hypodermic needles and condoms.
Beer bottles, broken glass.
So I'm like, except for the trash, this is a great location. So we bring garbage bags and all trips down to this forest, and we have our photo shoot. But before we have the photo shoot, we have to clean up the trash.
I think it is also important to say that we technically were having this photo shoot like during the
the hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mid-weather bands were out there cleaning up trash in long black dresses, barefoot on mossy puddles.
And let's back up to the barefoot, because we have just seen disgusting trash. And then she's like, take off your shoes. Let's talk about Kaylin, cutest little Kaylin.
Before we picked up the trash, we all decided to take our shoes off, why did we not wait until after we picked up the trash to take our shoes off? So
my shoes were on while we were picking up trash. Did you really?
I think my shoes were on too.
Did you take your shoes off before picking up trash?
Mine were off because Katie was taking video, and there is a video of me with broken glass in my hand and no shoes on.
Oh,
that's not good.
Bad life decisions.
I was dying laughing because watching Kaylin walk through the forest so carefully. She had the cutest little, you guys will see the pictures later, but the cutest little baby doll dress on, and she just looked like this little doll walking through the forest, like really carefully, like, oh my God, I don't want to step on a needle. Please don't.
There were cactus. And
I did scratch Katz's leg.
Yeah, my cactus wound is still healing.
There were like random bugs and such that I wasn't sure what they were, like jumping around.
There was lots of little frogs too. There was like these baby teeny little frogs.
And
so
there was this thick layer of dead leaves too over the top of some of this trash. And so you didn't necessarily know, like, yes, there were these cute little like mossy pads that you could step on, but then also there was just like a layer of leaves that you weren't really sure what was lurking below.
I get it. No, it was gross. It was disturbing, but fast forward and we're laying in it. So
literally picking moss out of each other's hair and leaves out of each other's hair.
Yeah.
It's me
we did it all for the photo shoot.
It was all for the photo shoot.
The photos though are going to look gorgeous because Mariah is fantastic.
Mariah's the photographer. She is gorgeous.
Know.
Yeah.
No.
But you will know, dear listener, because you have the behind the scenes info on this photo shoot. And then we had planned on another day to really get into the specifics and details of this app and why we're doing it. And this is like footage we want to use for our, for potential investors and Kickstarter. And so to Cass's point, now we're switching hats like so abruptly and so intensely. We have to rearrange the entire Airbnb to get this video footage and have it look clean and neat. And it was crazy.
And I'll tell you what I don't do well.
Switch hats like that.
Switch like that. Yeah. That is awful on my death. Just because like when I'm in the very creative, very left brain flowy, ethereal space, to switch then to furniture moving company, black shirt, CEO of tech company.
Yes.
There's a big jump there. There's a big leap. So it was just, I was like, this is why we had so many days planned out. And it was like, nope, you have 15 minutes before the sun sets. You must speak now.
Exactly. And we were tired because we'd had, before the photo shoot, a morning of logistical problems and dealing with trying to get everyone taken care of,
trying to get the photographer home in time to see her children, trying to get my husband back with my child, trying to figure out if we could get another person whose flight was canceled in somehow.
Yep, we had talked to JetBlue and Hertz and rental car companies and Priceline, all before these photo shoots and videos, which like, again, another very different stage of the brain is that logistic doer side to then ethereal and then to CEO tech mode.
Plus we were feeding everybody and there were still always going to be children running around that house. We have children and they're running around the house and they're making noise and there's a baby to feed and there's like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So
that's an understatement.
That is one little tiny example of like the entire week and how things just went so differently. But I think that all being said, we really handled ourselves pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It was not what we thought. What did you keep saying, Cass? You kept saying something like, well, we did something.
Oh yeah, we did it. I have no idea what we did, but we did it.
That's what you kept saying.
It's like it was an odd sense of accomplishment, but I wasn't exactly sure what we did. I still actually, to be fair, like, whatever, 5 days later, I'm still not sure what the fuck happened, but we did it.
We did it.
We got together. We all gathered in one place. That's what we did.
Yeah.
We all gathered in one place.
And with the,
out a hurricane.
The brief exception of Tom's Neosporin, no one got injured.
So we decided that just for you guys, a little inside scoop, Tom uses Neosporin the way the father on the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding uses Windex.
Correct.
And he has 2 tubes.
One with pain relief, one no pain relief. So
one store brand, one regular Neosporin brand. Hashtag not sponsored by Neosporin yet.
But maybe we could be.
Yeah.
So
we used it on the dog. We used it on a couple children. It got used.
We on a random toe, a cactus prick. Seriously, apparently I just needed cactus medicine when walking outside in the forest subdivision of Florida.
The forest subdivision. Yeah, that was an adventure. All right. Quite an adventure.
It was.
Yeah. And we have yet to send in our Airbnb review, which is a completely different story, right?
We could probably record the reading of that and share it.
We might do that for you another time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a story for a different day.
It was an adventure. I think that anytime you have people who know each other virtually in person, you just get to know each other on a completely different level. And we had a lot of different stressors and we had a lot of different people. It was literally a revolving door of people coming and going. And that's a lot to put on anyone. And so I just think that you can't say enough that we handled ourselves really beautifully and we were able to get something accomplished Cass, I don't know what it was, but we did it.
Well, I feel like too, with all of those external stressors, like we still banded. It was like a massive team building activity. Like we didn't need to go, paintball gun or everyone hold hands and turn inside out and try to disconnect or whatever the case. All those stupid team building activities.
Nope.
We're like, we're gonna go to Florida with 15 plus people with a shortage of food, a hurricane coming, flights being canceled, Airbnb not having soap.
Basic necessities
not being present in the Airbnb, like all of these different things. And you're like, and we're going to see if you survive. I kept saying, like, we need to set up a camera and just do a reality show.
Yes.
That's what we need.
We would have gone viral. Absolutely.
Oh, and 3 weeks postpartum.
Yeah.
Let's just add that on there.
So. Yeah, no big, really. No big.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I guess, a little bit of a recap of Florida.
I don't know what it was, but it was something.
Exactly. We did it. So stay tuned for the episodes on Sister Wives and the Airbnb experience, which I don't even know if we want to give them the time of day. We'll just post a link to do not rent this Airbnb on our show notes.
There you go.